playing the, ooh, we can't play this game. My phone is having a very hard time focusing. So we may have to close more curtains. Oh, it went right. And then it goes away, then it comes back. I guess it's me, I'm illuminating it. Well, it's hard to say. I can see. I'm watching this on the laptop here. We may have to adjust some stuff here just for a second to get the brightness right.
Does it look good on your laptop?
It's a bit washed out. So we used this spot last week in the kitchen, and I think the bright windows behind us are washing out the camera. No, I think it'd be way too dark if we do that. Let me turn on one more light in the kitchen, then we'll get started. We can never start smoothly with these live streams ever. Oh goodness, I may have to make some more adjustments. So let's see how this looks. I don't know, I guess I might sit over here by Tiffany. This thing is adjusting all over the place. Let's see. I think these lights above us are washing us out too. Oh well, guess what? We're streaming over a phone. It's not going to be the world's best quality until we get some software figured out and get some better cameras that can do some streaming. I do have one in mind for down the road. So before we run this on any longer, welcome everybody. It is, what is this? June the 26th. I can't remember anymore. At 7 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching this back later, we may not be live, but by all means leave a comment and we will respond to you. Thank you so much for watching. If this is your first or second live stream, or if you've watched just a few and don't comment, we don't bite. By all means drop a comment. If you have a question, we have a good community of people here that will welcome you, and you're more than welcome, to ask whatever comment you want. Maybe we'll catch it, maybe not. We're getting a few hundred people, a couple hundred people a week coming on this thing. It's hard to catch every single comment. Plus, I'm very guilty of rambling on and on and on, and I may miss a bunch of comments, but you can ask it over and we'll do our best to catch it. So I'm seeing quite a few people in the house here, some familiar faces. Uncle Tim, as we call him. We got Cash, Mr. Jimmy, and I keep calling him Mr. Jimmy. I don't know if I'm older or younger than Mr. Jimmy, but for some reason, I just call people Mr. like Mr. Doug, and Mr. Doug's not an old man either. I see he's in the house.
Mr. Cash.
I don't call him Mr. Cash. I probably could, because I think he's a big burly man that could whoop my butt. So we'll call Cash whatever he wants me to call him there. So a lot of familiar faces. So welcome everybody. It's been a heck of a week, especially based on some of the videos that y'all have seen. We've been all over the place with content. I've had to do a little bit of traveling this week. There's been a lot going on. I see a lot of people talking about. Oh, wait a minute. Chris's question was, the house going to be done? Never, Chris. Never. The house will never be done, and that's no lie.
Yeah, he can technically still ask that question.
Yeah, he can. Well, there's plenty of stuff still to do, and as soon as I think I'm done, oh no, we'll find more stuff to do. But I see a lot of people talking about the heat. So we had almost 2 weeks straight of triple-digit temperatures. Y'all, I'm talking, I keep my thermometer in the shade now, and we hit 107 one day, 104 2 days, 102 another day. It's been triple digits forever. Today is our first cool day, we'll call it. It finally got down in the low 90s, and it's supposed to stay there the next few days. I never thought I would call the 90s cool, but it feels so much better being out of triple digit temperatures. Oh my goodness.
It does.
Oh, so I hope y'all are staying safe out there and hydrated. Oh my goodness. So I just seen a question fly by. How's the chicken eggs going? So I went out there and tried to candle them today. So if you're not familiar with that, you can check on how the eggs are, how the embryos are doing on the inside. If the eggs are fertile, tried to make anything or not, by holding them over a bright light, and my incubator actually has a candler in it. But these must be the thickest shells on the planet, because I even took a light that's, I forget, a few thousand lumens, like to the point I'm afraid I was going to cook the egg, and try to hold it up to it, and I can see dark spots in a lot of them, but I can't see what I thought I was going to see. So I think at this point, we're just going to let Mother Nature, well, I guess this really isn't Mother Nature, we're going to let the incubator take its course and see what hatches. So technically right now we're 14 days in. The earliest I've heard of eggs potentially hatching is 18 days, but most people and places say it's around the 21 plus day mark before you'll see some hatching. So potentially by the end of this week, for sure by next weekend, we may see some babies hatching. So I've got to jump on this week, getting my brooder ready, going to get my starter feed and a few other things set up out there. So we'll have an episode for that. But maybe by next week, we'll have y'all video out with their chicken eggs hatching. And then we're going to be new chicken parents and trying to figure all this mess out right here. Yeah, new chicken parent. All right, so how's the dealer hunting, armadillo hunting coming? Pretty good. I do need to modify my trap. So here's the thing. I noticed my trap kept getting set off, but there was never anything in it. I couldn't figure it out for nothing. Excuse me. Turns out we're having mice and what looks like field rats going into it, tripping it, and then they're climbing out the hole in the top where the tube comes through. So just crazy. I kept wondering what's going on here. Why is my trap getting, tripped? The other thing is I've done had a bunch of armadillos go through it and not trigger it. So I have got to go to the hardware store. Maybe I can go tomorrow. I've got to pick up some hinges, and I'm going to put an actual trip floor design in there that should be foolproof. Anything with a decent amount of weight on it that gets on it, there's no bumping of a stick, no nothing. So now here's the crazy part. We've been taking about 20 armadillos off of our place, and I still am getting them everywhere on camera. I thought we had put a big dent in. Our yard's not getting dug up nearly as bad.
There's new holes down there.
There is new holes, and underneath the barn, I noticed fresh digging today that must have happened last night. And my camera down there, y'all wait till y'all see all this nighttime footage. I have 2 cameras recording now. There's armadillos everywhere, absolutely everywhere. So we're gonna have to get into some more trap building too. So we're gonna work on that. Sorry, I have missed a ton of comments. So everybody says happy birthday, little early Cash. I guess Cash's birthday's coming up.
On your dad's birthday.
Oh, that's right. We do know that. My dad's birthday. My dad's birthday's coming up, so is Cash's. So happy early birthday, Cash. Let's see what else here. We'll send you some cow camp seasoning. All right. So Poppy. Yeah, I guarantee he's that guy that's probably got 500 pounds of cow camp stash. So he probably gets it in gallon jugs or something, much as he talks about it. So let's see here. So Poppy says, hello Tiffany and Andrew, love the new tractor cameras and great saws, fuel tanks. So yeah, it's been a heck of an interesting week. If y'all watch some of the content that we released for the last few days, I had a fun tractor project that I've been wanting to do forever. That's been one of the big drawbacks to my tractor. I couldn't see the tractor forks, and I had been dreaming about doing a backup camera for a long time. I just haven't made the time. So when a company reached out of, hey, here's a camera system, it's like, you kind of got to jump on that and do it because it's a project I already wanted to do anyway, so it fit perfectly. I think that's going to work out great. And then the saws that y'all are talking about, if y'all haven't watched today's video, y'all need to. But I took a trip this week over to Panama City Beach and the general area around it and met a couple of viewers. And I've been working on this trip for 2 to 3 months, and it just could never work out to where I could meet both at the same time or my schedule work out. So I finally made this trip happen this week and met some pretty awesome people. So watch that video that was released today. But they were so kind, so generous, have been working out things for us, holding things for us, gave me some amazing equipment, woodworking equipment. And then I told y'all at the end of that video, we figured out a pool situation. So Casey, he's the one that gave me the fuel tank, and he still got me something amazing. I know I keep talking about it and not spilling the beans because I want it to be a surprise. But Casey was also trying to work behind the scenes for the last 2 to 3 weeks to get us a pool, a swimming pool. So he was demoing a house because he does construction over there, and they were going to try to save a fiberglass pool. I've been working with a truck driver. We were going to have to get escorts. It was going to be, the logistics of it were going to be quite involved, but we were going to move an actual swimming pool about 3 hours away to the property here. So that was part of the reason I wanted to go over and make that trip this week, plus to meet the guys and pick up the other awesome things that they gave us. So long story short, we decided against that pool because it was too small. The pictures didn't really do it justice, and I knew I had to see it in person anyways. So before we got to paying big money on getting escorts and getting it loaded up on a flatbed and then having a crane lift it on, crane lift it off, we ultimately decided against it because of the size of it. Tiffany definitely wants a even bigger pool than I want. So we're going to go back with a really nice above ground pool option. I'm actually working on that right now. Probably be a few weeks before we can get all that in here and get it going, but I'm figuring out the filter systems and everything else. But we're going to go with a really, really, really big one. nice resin walls, ones that's able to be buried, all that good stuff. So we do have that path figured out. So now that means we're going to have to build a deck off the back porch, because if we went with an in-ground pool, it was going to be completely different. It's probably going to wind up doing concrete or patio pavers or something like that. So now I'm kind of back to figuring everything else while I'm trying to work the outdoor kitchen and several other things. So it just got wild and crazy right now. A lot of planning, trying to really budget this out and be smart about it as well, but make sure I get, good filter systems for the pool and things like that. And I can tell y'all what, after the last 2 weeks that we've had of triple-digit temperatures, there's nothing more that I want than a pool.
I know we keep saying that.
But to be honest with you, if we had a pool the last 2 weeks and a bunch of 100+ degree days, I bet the water would be so hot in that pool we probably couldn't even use it.
But I bet you would come up with some fancy ice filtration system that would just rotate it out.
Sure. I can cool down 26,000 gallons of water, sure. So I miss Mr. Doug here with my rambling on. So, oh yeah, let me go grab my little
handy dandy notebook.
My handy dandy notebook. So thank you.
I'll get it for you.
Thank you. So Mr. Doug's one of these guys I talked about in that video today. There's so many of y'all. I'm not trying to skip over everybody, but we never expected when we started YouTube the community, like I was just telling y'all a minute ago, that we've made, the people that we've met, how kind the world is. Sadly, we live in a day now that's full of media, news, and everything else that wants to portray nothing but the negative side of everything that's going on the planet, and you kind of start getting in a mentality of thinking about people in a negative way, thinking everybody's out to get you and nothing's good. But the true reality of it is the majority of the people in the world are great people, just like Mr. Doug here, Mr. Gray, and Pile Driver Outdoors, and all the people, Miss Lee, everybody that's just been amazing. And then Casey that I drove over and seen, Mr. Thomas Cook, I can't thank y'all enough.
Great community of people.
Great community of people, and y'all have really inspired us to want to be better people. And this is just the side of YouTube and Facebook that I didn't even realize existed until we started getting into it. So we're very happy to have met all of y'all. Everybody that joins and watches and supports us. I mean, it takes all that to make this thing happen. We truly appreciate y'all. So I rambled on for 15 minutes there to finally read Mr. Doug's comment. So he says, night vision fun, dead dealers is a good dealer. I think that's a pretty good deal.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I think that's going to have to go in that thermal fund that has been growing like crazy and that I still have to tally up. Thank you so much.
Speaking of dillers, I had a patient tell me this week that she actually cooked them, and they were very delicious.
We're not going to find out. We're not cooking armadillo.
She said it is a must try.
So one of y'all, so thank you so much, Mr. Doug. I mean, we can't say enough good stuff about Mr. Doug. He's by far one of the most generous people we've ever met. And I can't wait to get you down here, take you on a boat, take you fishing, treat you, take you out to dinner, something. We can't never pay you back for what you've done for us, but I sure want to try it. So we thank you so much. But no, we're not eating armadillo. And there was somewhere else I was going to.
I got the thought.
Yeah, get us to 1 million subscribers, I'll eat armadillo.
It's great that we have everybody here supporting us, but if you want to give in a different way, Andrew can explain to you about the Amazon way that,
I need to thank y'all for that. So we hit on that last week. A lot of people, I get comments and wonderful emails and things from people all the time. And a lot of times it's, hey, we're just not in a position to support you. First of all, the only way we've ever asked for support is watch. That's free. Hit a thumbs up if you like it. Maybe share our channel with somebody, because growing the channel is truly what this is all about. Growing the community, more watch time, it just grows this. It's a business. It really is. That's the only thing we'd ever ask for. But y'all have been amazing on our Amazon store. So we briefly hit on it last week, and I don't talk about it as much as I should because it is a free way to give back to the channel. So if you click on our link down in the description to our Amazon store and use the search bar for stuff that you're already buying every week, you don't have to purchase stuff that we show on the channel. Right. We actually get an advertising commission from Amazon. So there's been a ton of y'all. I'm talking thousands upon thousands of clicks a month now.
Pretty significant.
Yeah, and there's been hundreds upon maybe 1,000 more items y'all have started purchasing. Now, we may make 5 or 10 cents an item. It doesn't cost you a dime extra. I should have said that. But it adds up, y'all, and it's added up greatly this month. Y'all have made some pretty amazing purchases. I've never talked about financial stuff on here, and I guess y'all do have a right to know, but let's put it into perspective like this. with all the views that we've had, hundreds of thousands of views, all the content that we make, I literally work 7 days a week on this. I would have made $1,800 last month in YouTube ad revenue.
Yeah,
that would have
pretty awesome.
Well, no, I'm talking about my ad revenue. My paycheck would have been $1,800 for ad revenue. I can't make a living on $1,800. I really can't. So the people like Mr. Doug, the people going to the Amazon, the tiny little bit of Facebook revenue, it really means the world to us because it takes all that to keep me from having to go back to get a 9-to-5 job. It really does. And I've never talked about the financial side of it, but that's literally what YouTube would have paid me last month just in ad revenue. Now, whenever you see people making these generous donations, everything on top of that, that makes that go up a little more, and it makes surviving a little more. So I just can't thank y'all enough. I don't want every week's live stream to talk about donations and finances. I really don't. That's not what these things are for. But I just want y'all to understand how this whole thing works. I can't do it without y'all. I've told y'all, and I don't think I've really put it into perspective. Less than $2,000 a month for 7 days a week worth of work. That's less than minimum wage, y'all. It takes all these extra things to really make this stuff work, from selling, t-shirts and everything else. So, by the way, we're working on new logos, so just want to let y'all know that. I'm still working on that. I've got to get around so much legalities now. You can't just go design a logo, throw it on hats, and start selling. There's so much more to it than that, especially for merchandising, for social media merchandise. So I'm working with the company right now, letting y'all know.
Take a breath, and I'll tell everybody what I'm cooking.
Yes, please, because I just did a heck of a lot of talking, and I missed about 500 comments. I feel so bad. Sorry, y'all.
All right, so if y'all have never eaten at Texas Roadhouse, that's one of my favorite places to go. And one of my favorite dishes to get there is the kebabs. And I usually get sirloin kebabs, but I'm going to make chicken kebabs on the Blackstone. And technically it's not kebabs because it doesn't have the stick, but that's what I call it, and it's very similar to the recipe. And I think I've pretty much mastered the marinade that they...
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Well, we haven't had it in a while.
I think so. But even the way you like it in the pan...
I can't remember. I was just saying, you think you've mastered it.
I think
because I don't ever order that stuff when we go there.
I think it's pretty close to the recipe they use. So we're going to do that on the Blackstone. I'm excited.
It sounds good to me, especially some fresh vegetables out there. So I'm going to go up and catch a few comments, but I can't go back through all of them. Sorry, I rambled on way too long.
Gosh, I forgot to cut up the squash and zucchini and put it in there.
You did?
Yep. Just remembered. So I'm probably going to have to slip off just a minute early.
Somebody didn't get the stuff prepared correctly. We'll go over there and cut your vegetables whenever you need to. So Chris Newman here, he says, new Patreon member. By the way, thank y'all so much for all the people that support us on Patreon as well. Truly does mean a lot. That's just another way people are constantly giving to us. Excuse me. Oh, and thank you, Miss Lee. She just upgraded over there as well. Miss Lee's always so kind to giving to us. So he says he's from Pennsylvania, but gutting and building out a property in upstate New York, about an hour from the Canadian border, and already using tips and tricks from the channel. Well, awesome, man. Thank you so much for supporting us, and we wish you nothing but success with your journey building out. That sounds like a wild, crazy place up there. For us Southerners, I can't imagine being that close to the Canada border, the snow and everything else that you'll deal with. Heck, there's probably moose and everything else. That's just sounds like a wild place to me, but sounds like an awesome journey too. So we wish you the best of luck with building that out. We're glad you're finding our content useful as well. We're all here to learn, no doubt about that. So let's see what else we got here.
You know, somebody just said the slogan, the overdue is what I do. We need to remember that too when you're doing the logo and the I want you to do the overdue is what I do.
Not in our logo.
No, but I mean in
the
apparel.
Yeah, I can do a campaign with that as well.
So add that to the list.
All right, we'll do it there. We got a long running list, that's for sure. Can dealer for emergency storage, says Bettler, not happening. Actually, if it gets down to that much, if we got to eat, this fat boy's got to eat. Then I'll regret going ahead and getting rid of 20 armadillos because that would have been food for us right there. But I don't see the economy making us eat armadillo anytime soon. So, all right, let's see what else we got here. So Miss Crystal, who's always so kind and generous and just sweet, says, always look forward to seeing everyone on here on Sundays. We do as well. Whenever we miss a Sunday every now and then, just 'cause life makes it happen every now and then, I kind of feel feel guilty. I feel weird. I feel like something's missing. Like we should have had that hangout time because
with all y'all.
Yeah,
it's just like a great big family.
It is a great big family, without a doubt. All right, so let's run on down. There's Mr. Doug again. Thank you so much, Mr. Doug. Sorry, I know I'm way behind here. He says Texas Roadhouse dinner for Miss Tiffany.
Heck yeah.
Ooh, now we talking.
Yes.
Now we're talking. Thanks to Mr. Doug, we get to go out to eat a little more often than we otherwise would have.
Thank you.
He's always thinking about us with the dinner fun there, and that's an excellent fun, if I may say so. And we both love
Texas Roadhouse.
I love Texas Roadhouse too. One of the best salads. Their ribs are pretty decent. The bread.
They're just consistent.
They are consistent. Yeah. That's one thing we really like about them. Yeah, what about the rolls from Texas Roadhouse? Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm not making them tonight.
Yeah. So Mr. Doug says he also loves our recent bloopers. Hey, those things happen. We definitely struggled the other day on getting that video started. We struggled.
I guess we should just add this in.
Yeah, I guess so. So I haven't had any really funny bloopers lately. Everybody keeps saying, "Are you holding out?" I ain't tripped. I ain't bumped my head.
I think when we get the animals, they're gonna be all the time.
Oh, probably there. But
all the time.
Like I haven't done nothing stupid or funny here lately to include. Otherwise, I'll include it. Y'all can laugh at me. I could care less. I don't truly care what people think whenever it comes to things like that. That kind of stuff doesn't bother me at all. If I make some good bloopers, I'll put them in. I'm just not the type that I'm going to go purposely make them because I think people can see through that fake stuff, and I don't want it to be awkward. But when they happen, you're going to get them, no doubt about that. Let's see what else we got here. So Happy Acres Homestead says, hello from Central Florida. We know the place. Hello from North Florida. What else? Do fish eat dealers fish bait? I have no earthly idea. Probably a catfish would because they eat just about anything. So Cash says, question. I did a super chat and it didn't show up. I will send you the screenshot. My Google saying it was made. Cash, I've had that as well. I tried to do that on Arms Family Homestead live stream a few weekends ago, and I sent 2 super chats through. They never showed up on screen, and I even got a receipt that said it went through. I went back, there's a dispute button in your email, and you can dispute the super chat. If it doesn't show up, occasionally this happens. But before I could even get done disputing it, I got an email that says you've been credited, something happened. So if y'all have any issue with trying to do a donation on here, every now and then it does get glitchy. Nothing we can really do about it, but you're always supposed to get an emailed receipt. Go check that, and there is a dispute button right there. But like I said, I've had this happen to me several times, and usually it's refunded before I can ever even get a dispute into Google. Yeah, I know, very frustrating, but it's technology, it's computer stuff, it's software they got going on. Glitches are bound to happen. But Cash, we truly appreciate you trying to support, and that's okay, man. Just make sure you get your money back there. Sadly, I can't see. Well, tell you what I can see is tomorrow it'll post. It's usually 1 to 2 days off on donations. If you haven't got a notice back from them, email me, and I can check and see if it actually did post our account. But it's always delayed 1 to 2 days for me, so we can look at that for you. So, any decisions on a farm dog? I'm back to thinking, well, it ain't a true farm dog, it's just a me dog, but I'm back to thinking I want a lab.
Oh, you changed your mind again?
Well, no, I've kind of always wanted a lab, and then somebody over here is getting me going off on border collies, shepherds, Australian shepherds, and then we started looking at a short-haired pointer, and then now I'm kind of back to a lab. I think just a good old yellow lab is what I want. It's kind of what I've always wanted. That's a dog that can go get in the boat with me, go fishing with me, that likes water decent.
I feel like we need to get that pretty soon because
we do need to
the
get that.
chickens are going to be young. I think it would be nice to raise something up with the animals
now,
as they come up.
While that's not a true farm dog, a dog in general is typically going to take care of its home. It's going to protect its place. And I do want that to be an outside dog. We may build it a nice dog house on the porch and everything else, but I want it to kind of be a porch dog looking across the property, barking and let me know if somebody pulls up or coyotes running across the yard or a raccoon going over there to the chicken pen, something like that. I don't know. I've always been stuck on a lab. I think that's the path I need to go. I think it's the right dog for me. So yeah, and we do need to make that happen here before long. We do. So Cash, your donation did pop up, but it's something's glitchy going on. It says an Amazon bear rug. That can't be correct. We are not getting Amazon. You know what? Get it. Bullet would love to sleep on it. The heck with it at this point. We'll put it on the couch for Bullet to just curl all up in, but I don't think you're going to see me curling up in that Amazon bear rug.
We have something coming up in the future that he's going to be working on, so I think it would make a a nice accent to it.
What is that? You done got
Something that'll go near it.
Oh!
Yeah.
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 I think we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's going to be a few months down the road. All right, so yes, maybe the bear rug would fit, but I was kind of thinking
It might.
maybe not. Have you seen an Amazon bear rug? It doesn't look
No,
very.
I haven't
It
seen it.
doesn't look very real. Oh goodness gracious! So thanks, Cash. I do appreciate that Night Vision Fund donation right there. Thank you very much, Cash.
Or the bear.
Yeah. So how much longer for the chicks? I'm sure that's going to be a popular question. We're thinking somewhere around next weekend is going to be the earliest that they should hatch on into the following week. So we're excited about that. I'm going to keep an eye on it. And then we'll set up our brooder this week. And hopefully next week we have y'all video out with the chickens hatching and us drying them off and, you know, getting them all prepped and ready and putting them over into the brooder. And then we'll continue to watch them from there, raise them up, and eventually get them out there in that pen. And I've got a pen episode coming up too. So a lot of y'all been concerned about animals digging in and security. I'm way ahead of you on a lot of that stuff. I've got some pretty cool stuff out there. Some technology stuff that's going to help me out with critters trying to get at our chicks, and then just some standard stuff. Plus some really cool no-dig stuff that I found as well, because we're all concerned about animals digging underneath that pen, from possums to raccoons to foxes, coyotes. We have everything. Now, a lot of people keep bringing up the bears. Are you concerned about the bears? Really not. We've never had one come directly in the yard and bother anything. Not saying that's not going to happen down the road.
Too. We might even get like a little radio like we did in the past.
Yeah, we could put a little radio out there, a noise maker, or I can put motion activated lights. There's lots of different things that we can do to really protect them, and we're going to work on a lot of that. So how is the outdoor kitchen plan coming? We had it finalized, and I think we're going to make a slight modification to it, make it a little bigger.
We are?
Well, yeah.
Did we talk about that?
Maybe we didn't talk about that. Maybe I made that decision.
Well, see, I'll find out some things on the live stream.
Okay, we're going to talk about that. I hadn't. Okay, let me catch Mr. Mike here, and then let's talk about the outdoor kitchen. That's something a lot of people have been excited about, and I do want to answer a few of y'all's questions. I'm glad y'all brought that up. So, Mr. Mike, there's the Thermo Fund. Thank you very much, sir. We got another very generous donation there. So people that don't know what the thermal fund that everybody keeps talking about is, I'm wanting to get an optic that can actually look through the darkness of night, and it picks up heat signatures of everything from a mouse to a coyote to that bobcat to everything else that could present a problem. And that'll be a really, really nice feature to look at across our pasture once we have goats in it and cows, look over at the chicken pens, and really keep an eye on what's going on out there. So that, while we kind of play around with this fund, it really is something that I desire, and I think it's going to be important to us. Part of doing a little farm, a little homestead like this, and having animals, part of it is you're their protector. You're supposed to take care of them. So between dogs and donkeys and other means like this, it really is something that we desire. All right, so back to the outdoor kitchen. So let's answer a few things. A lot of people kept asking, and I'll show you this when we go outside, why did we not flip the bar around to where when you come out the door, you can easily walk right in? And it's because of these windows right here behind me. If we were to flip the whole top around, we would have to cut the outdoor kitchen in half to keep from a bar top being up in these windows. It just isn't going to work at all. And I need a solid wall to go all the way around unless I build a deck up and raise it and do some crazy stuff, because I have to run gas lines through it and electric lines. So we're going to stick close to the same design we talked about. Now, are we going all the way to the pole or not? That was another very popular question. We're going to talk about that offline. So it may get a little bigger to do that. Now, here's the thing. The reason I had considered not going all the way to the pole was because rain blows in there, and I didn't want, on these severe thunderstorms, rain getting all on the countertops, all on the Blackstone, all on the cooktop, and everywhere else. Yes, an outdoor kitchen should be designed to get wet some, but the further out we go, we've been really watching the house over the last year that the porch has been here, and that pole on severe thunderstorm days can catch a decent amount of blowing rain.
And I know it makes sense to go to the pole,
yeah.
But when you're really standing out here and seeing it, it looks gigantic when you make it that big.
Yeah.
But you would have to, definitely give your points on that
So,
a bit more.
yeah, we'll talk about it when we go outside, because everybody kept talking about why we put the refrigerator where we are, why we put the cooktops where we are, to where smoke and stuff's going to get in people's face. So there's more to talk about that. We'll talk about that outside some. We may do that while she's cutting up the vegetables she forgot to cut.
Y'all can decide.
Yeah, we can decide. She doesn't care as long as she gets her outdoor kitchen.
Right, and I'm really excited about that project.
All right, so let's see here. How long is the roof extension on the house behind me? How much space is needed? So you're talking about the porch right there? That is actually 20 feet deep plus an 18-inch overhang, so it's over 21 feet right there. And I personally would recommend that or more. But the reason we get blowing rain sometimes is because, one, well, that's facing north and west, which is where we get typically our severe thunderstorms blowing in. So it's all based on direction. We don't hardly ever get rain on the shorter side porch because it's blocked from blowing rain. But I would recommend a deep porch. We were originally going to do a 10-footer, then we were looking at the 12-footer, and I am so happy we went with a 20-footer, because by the time we put an outdoor kitchen and everything else out there, and then the blowing rain and weather, the setting sun in the afternoon, we already don't even have enough porch there to block this blazing sun, so we're going to do some roll-down shades. Always, what you always hear in life, go bigger than you think you need. Absolutely, for a porch. I 100% agree. I really do. All right, so Mike says, labs are loyal but get bored and in trouble quickly. That's the problem I've been hearing with all these other dogs we was talking about. When you start getting into a little bit smarter working dog, they need some serious attention, or they turn it to digging holes and chewing and everything else. And some of the other ones we discussed are wound far more tight than a lab is. So I think it's a good mix of dog.
Home,
Me being home is going to help, no doubt. Load up in the Ranger, come with me, bud. Let's go check some armadillo traps. Let's go out here and check on the chickens. Let's go work some cows eventually. I'm gonna wear it out. That's one thing I'm blessed about, being able to do this full time. I'm home 7 days a week. I rarely leave. This is not gonna be your typical, I'm gone working a 9-to-5 job, and I give the dog a little bit of attention in the afternoon, pat it on the head, and I go inside. We're gonna work the stew out of this dog. It's gonna get run around. It's gonna come with me on the boat. It's going to do a little swimming and fishing and everything else. So I think that's not going to be a problem. So we'll take care of that. So let's see here. A10 makes affordable night vision and FLIR. Yes, I've been looking at them. The reviews can be a bit iffy, but that's the one I'm looking at actually, is the Thor 4. So that's what I'm trying to let the fun build up to, the A10 Thor 4. And the reason I want that one over the regular cheaper LT model is because, well, if y'all are donating all this money, y'all probably want to see what's going on in that scope. And their cheaper LT model does not do recording, but that Thor 4 actually does some recording.
Nice.
So our other channel, our outdoor hunting and fishing channel, that's where we'll probably put content of the other side of things, the after dark side of things that happen on the property, where we literally have to go take care of nuisance problems and protect things. So I really want to get one recording in it, and that Thor 4 is probably the most affordable one with that built-in feature, so I can share some of the content with y'all. So I think that's the one that we're going after right there. Let's see here. So Robert says, from the video, it only looks like an extra 6 inches to a foot. Oh, you're probably talking about the overhang out there? No, they're 18-inch overhangs or eaves on the outside edge. Absolutely are. For some reason, my engineer required it, which I was perfectly fine with. The more eave and overhang you have, the more roof you get, the less blowing or rain that whips back in. So I was perfect with it. So Big Wave said his lab lived 16 years, best dog you ever had. When I was a kid, I had a lab and chow mix. Crazy mix. That dog could be mean to anybody come to the yard, but protect those kids. That dog lived 14 or 15 years. It got run over twice, and the second run over actually is what took it out, or it probably been 16 plus years. That was the most loyal dog I ever in my life had. So it had lab in it. I've kind of always wanted another lab since. So and I see a lot of people on the river when we're boating. A lot of our friends come over whenever we're dove hunting, and they have labs that'll go fetch birds. So I don't know, I desire a lab, and it seems like it's such a common breed down here. A lot of people do breed those dogs, so we'll find one here before long. I got some of the other projects I got to take care of though first. Goodness gracious. I'll look into one here before long. I'll do it. So Robert says, Tiffany, what are some of the projects that you want to work on? You mean, so what are some of the projects that you want me to work on? I don't care. If she'll cook and clean, I'll take care of the project.
Unfortunately, I don't get much time to work on extra projects with my job, but I'm definitely feeling like I'll be pretty active in what we do for the kitchen. Maybe even help you with a little bit with that.
Pretty active. She didn't even know it was getting bigger.
I'm sure he might need a hand with the deck, maybe even.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Those are individual boards, but that's going to be a not so fun project out in the blazing sun.
Yeah, I changed my mind on that. Help him with that one.
Yeah. That's probably going to be one of the projects
I'm
I'm
excited for those outdoor projects to get done.
No
for
kidding.
sure.
The kitchen's
I
going to be
am.
awesome. Then the pool's going to take a little bit of time. There's a lot of logistics to that. We'll have to get a little excavator over here. We're going to have to get some sand hauled in.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be helping with that project. It's going to take lots of hands.
Yeah, it
to get
is.
that
We got to
done.
get several people around to help us, and then we're going to have to see where we are, honestly, budget-wise after that. It may be that we have a pool, a ladder that goes over, and we may swim in it for a little bit
Right.
before we dive into the deck.
Yep.
But while lumber's dropping, yeah, we're going to try to make it happen. But we've got to be financially smart about some of these things. Now, the cool thing is, when we sold our camper, we knew that money was strictly for a pool. We didn't go blow it. We didn't spend it. We saved it. That's always been our intention.
Right.
Sell the camper, there's your pool money. So we do have it covered. But pool and then deck money, well, a deck starts getting a lot more expensive. So we're going to see what's going to happen. What we really got to see is how much this outdoor kitchen hits us for. Because it keeps
Yeah.
going up and up
And
and
he
up.
keeps making it bigger and bigger.
Well, I keep listening to some of y'all's suggestions too. Y'all keep spending my money for me. So I'm doing a bigger sink like y'all been suggesting and a few other things. We're going to do a bigger cooktop now than I was originally thinking. So things have started getting a little bigger, a little bigger, a little bigger.
I gotta hear about all this.
I done told you that. We're going to do like a normal size cooktop, a 30-inch cooktop. No point in putting a little 2-burner out there. Let's just go ahead and do a full 5-burner cooktop and have it where we can have pots and pans slinging and everything else.
Yeah, because that's where we're gonna fry
And come about September when things, well, I say September, come about October when things cool off through May of next year, I guarantee you 95% of our cooking is going to be outside.
Pretty much.
That's where we stay. But we want to be out there. Now when it's 103 degrees like it's been all week, yeah, outside is not quite so fun. But it's not like this forever. So we'll see.
Yep, while we're in the pool, we'll have something cooking and
Yes, I'm so looking forward to
back and
that.
forth to the pool.
Her up there cooking while I'm floating in the pool. Bring me a drink out of the refrigerator. That's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to quite work out that way, but in my head, that's the way that's going to work out. It may be. All right. Let's see what else we got here. So, how's the seat cushions working? The seat cushions.
Chair.
Well, do they know that? Oh, we're supposed to be working on a sewing room, and she's supposed to be doing some seat cushions. Seat cushions are going to be a while because I think
One project at a time.
I think she wants me to build her a sewing room.
I got this seat cushion right
Yeah,
now.
look, seat cushions. We already got them, aka a little pillow. She's got more cushion than me, natural cushion, and I'm over here perfectly fine on these flat things. So we'll see. But yeah, we're gonna have a sewing room apparently coming at some point too. It's not gonna be fancy. It's gonna be in the attic, but we're gonna design her a little space up there, and then she can start sewing us some cushions and a few other things. All right. So Mr. Jimmy wants to know. Tell us again how living in the house feels. Have you gotten used to all the space so far?
Oh wow.
I'll let you answer that.
I still pinch myself every day.
She says that all the time. Still pinching myself.
Yeah, I love it. Sometimes I have to remember where I put things in the cabinets because I still have a lot of space.
Oh, I ain't figured the cabinets out at all. I'm still going around. Wait a minute. Where's the pans?
Yeah.
Where's the pot? Well, I don't have a clue where nothing is yet.
But it is pretty nice.
It's
The
awesome.
space is awesome.
It still hasn't wore off to me on getting a real shower. That is
Wow.
probably still my favorite part of the house is
Yeah.
the shower. I can go in there and just stretch out. Whereas, the old camper shower, you're banging everything and the water was hot, then the water was cold, then, oh, good. In the wintertime, the shower curtain was like 24 degrees. It felt like it'd stick to you and touch you and it's too cold. And I do not
It
miss.
definitely makes us appreciate it a whole lot more, even
Oh, it
though we
does.
would have always been, very appreciative, just because, we put a lot of hard work and saved for so long and, doing this. So, but just living in that camper for 3 years really.
It really makes you appreciate
intensifies
this.
it,
Yes,
yeah.
it does. So
It does.
I don't know. It still hasn't wore off. Now, yes, we're human beings. You walk around day to day, and it's just all right, cool. We're in the house, and you're doing your thing. But we still have our moments to where, like I was laying on the couch here the other morning. I got it really early, and I was just kind of going through and answering some comments on YouTube, and I just kind of laid my phone down for a second. I looked up at this ceiling, which you don't really look up at for a while, and I just enjoyed the openness of the space and this beautiful tongue and groove pine. And I was like,
I just admired it.
yeah, I was like, this is awesome. This really is awesome. But the bathroom I love. I don't know.
I don't know. It's just everything that we ever wanted.
Yeah. It's no big mansion, that's for sure, but it's ours. It's just the perfect fit for us, and I still love the porches too. I don't love the 100-degree heat right now, but going out on the porch I like. And I think once we get our outdoor kitchen and get some furniture and stuff out there, oh goodness, and then a pool, like I think I'm gonna fall in love with the house all over again because we've always envisioned that outdoor space and look forward to that because we're outside people. We really are. That's why we have a smaller house. There's no point in building a $400,000 or $500,000 house that we don't want to clean. We don't want to really even use. I want to be outside. So that's why we have 1,300 square foot of porches built into this, just so we can do that. So good question. We're still appreciative. We still love it. And there's still a lot of future awesome things coming from the stairs and the loft. I cannot wait to get my office done. But I'm more excited about outside than I am my office. I really am. All right, so let's see what else we got here. So I see a lot of new people jumping on to ask about the eggs. So I tried to check the chicken eggs today. She's going to chop up some vegetables. She forgot to do it, and then we'll go to Blackstone. But I tried to check the eggs today. There's dark spots in a lot of them. The shells are so thick, no matter what super bright light I use, including the candling feature on my incubator, I really couldn't see inside of the eggs good. So I'm just going to let them go. None of them were cracked. None of them were spoiled. No issues. So I don't foresee an issue on leaving a undeveloped egg in the incubator. But because I can't truly see, I don't know why I can't. These are got the thickest eggshells I've ever seen in my life. Now what I could see was dark spots in a lot of them. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all in on something that's got me very nervous. So twice now, the little wheel that turns and rolls the eggs has fell off. I had to finally epoxy it on basically. So there was a couple different times I don't have a clue how long the eggs didn't turn. That makes me nervous. Yeah, I know. The other thing is I didn't realize how to control humidity in there very well, and the trays ran empty only once for humidity control in the first few days. Now it seems like humidity is far more important the further you get into it, you start raising it. So there's two things right there that has me nervous, but I can tell you some of the eggs I could barely see in. I see dark spots. I don't just see a clear egg with nothing undeveloped in it. So this being our first time, I made a couple of uh-ohs. One of them being, well, it was the incubator issue, nothing I could help. But for some reason, the little gear just did not fit on the shaft good and fell off and it quit turning my egg. But that seems to be resolved now with me gluing it on. So we'll see what happens. But I can tell you some of them are dark. Some of them's got something going on in there. So by next weekend, that should be our 18th. No, by next Sunday's our 21st day. And we should have some hatching by the end of this week and next weekend. So next weekend on the live stream, we should have y'all some good information. By the way, next weekend is 4th of July weekend. Do y'all want to do a live stream, or do y'all have a bunch of plans for the holiday weekend? Y'all drop me some comments here, let me know. If a lot of y'all, sounds like, aren't going to be available on the live stream, we may just take a weekend off. But as of right now, we can work that into our schedule. But I just wasn't sure how many people have stuff going on for the holiday weekend. Very exciting weekend too. Nothing I love more than fireworks and blowing stuff up. I love it. So, Mr. Doug, thank you very much. He says y'all worked so hard on it and earned it. Very happy for both of you. Hey, we truly do appreciate you. And y'all, I'm sincere when I say this. We would not have this house if it weren't for y'all. Well, we would have it, but we don't talk about it a lot, and I do need to do an episode on this. We are mortgage free, and it's something we've worked so hard for, but things got crazy during COVID. We went way over budget, and again, y'all's generosity, allowing me to work from home, allowing me to do the YouTube thing, all the donations. We came close there for a little bit, thinking we were going to have to borrow some money to finish this, and I was dead set we did not want to do that. We've saved for like 10 years and worked so hard to be mortgage free. It was just something we really wanted. We didn't care if interest rates were low or what. It's just, I hate payments, and I've had a desire to be mortgage free in my 30s for a long time, and my 30s are running out quickly. So thank y'all so much for that. Y'all say we earned it and it's all us, but no. Y'all support, y'all's comments. Like I was telling y'all, Casey Casey Henderson, who I went over to see this week, he's a general contractor there. He helped me so much over the phone. Mr. David, there was just a ton of people with electrical experience, general contractor experience, residential contractors. There was a ton of y'all that emailed me, reached out, helped me with all kinds of stuff. This house wouldn't have turned out the way it did without y'all, without the motivation, without some of the knowledge and everything else. So thank y'all so much for that. We have this because of y'all. We really do. So let's see what else we got here. So do a live stream, let's do a live stream, do a live stream. All right, we're going to do a live stream next weekend then. Sounds like a lot of people are going to be sitting around on Sunday with us then. Let's see what else we got now. So just show up. So Big Wave says just show up in Brantford watching the fireworks. So Big Wave, yeah, you're going to enjoy the fireworks service. I don't know if this is your first time seeing them or if you've watched them a lot over there. Brantford does an amazing fireworks show, but you better get there early if you want a good parking spot. My goodness, thousands of people descend on that little town because they do such an amazing fireworks show. They really do. They always have. So mortgage free feels good, huh? Says Happy Acres. It feels amazing. It feels amazing. We've made a ton of sacrifices, y'all. I'm talking, we don't get the new fancy cell phones. You see, I'm driving raggedy old trucks. We finally took our first vacation in years just, a few months ago. We've made a lot of sacrifices like that, but it was totally worth it. We knew we wanted property and we wanted a home, and we didn't want to be in debt for the next 30 years. And we made tons of sacrifices over the last 10 plus years to make that happen. And it feels awesome. And it doesn't matter what it is. You may want something completely different, but when you work hard for something for so long and you finally get it, it feels good. Oh man, it feels so good. It really does. Alright, so Mr. Doug says, love the tractor camera review ordered itself. I actually went out there and spent quite a bit of time on my tractor today using that, disking up the dove slot there. So the one thing I didn't like about it, like I said in the video, was the recorded images weren't the world's best, but the on screen in the cab looks perfect. It looks great. I even hosed mine down today, Mr. Doug, seeing if any water would get in the cameras. They've done got extremely hot to the point I can't touch them. I haven't had none cut off, so I'm going to put them through their paces. If I have any issues, I'll let people know about it. But they work awesome. They really do. So Miss Elizabeth says, what's for dinner? You can probably hear Tiffany over there in the background cutting up a bunch of vegetables, but she's making a kebab recipe. But we're not going to put it on kebab sticks so we can flip around the Blackstone, but it's a Texas Roadhouse kebabs. And she makes a special sauce, but she loves that. It's her favorite meal there by far. Oh, one thing I need to talk about before we go outside. Mr. Thomas Cook that y'all seen on that video today, the guy that just donated me those amazing saws and that swing. He watches us on Facebook, so I don't think he gets on the live streams, but hey, he may surprise me. Look what he made us. This is little knickknacks and things like this that I want to get into. By the way, the image is reversed on the screen. I see that. But he made us solar cup holders, and it says Tiffany's Kitchen. He woodworks and he hand built all these, by the way, and he cut the vinyl out and all. And this one says grab you a cup. And then he's got little holders for markers, so if you grab a cup, you can write your name on it. I love little things like this. Like these are going to go so awesome out there on our outdoor kitchen. So Mr. Thomas, I don't know if you come over to YouTube and watch us, but it doesn't matter. Thank you very much for doing that for us and thinking about us, and thank you so much for the saws. Thank you, Casey, for what you did. We can't say enough about that. All right, let's see here. So Kim in Nature says she wants to move to Brantford. Well, it sounds like a lot of people are interested in Brantford here lately. We have quite a few friends over there, and we occasionally go there. We used to live about 15 miles from Brantford. Actually, that's where I met Tiffany, believe it or not, on the only blind date I've ever been on in my life. Let's see what else we got here. So how's the outside refrigerator test going, says Mr. Mike. I've completely unplugged it now. I ran it about a week in triple-digit temperatures. Seen zero issues. I figured there was no point in running it through all these 100+ degree days, burning up my electricity. So I unplugged it. It's still sitting out there. I brought all the drinks in, and I'm not going to fire it back up until it gets its new home in the kitchen. But a good week test let me know that it could get the drinks cool enough on those hot days, make sure that it worked and ran. So I'm done with the testing so far on that. Now I feel comfortable building an actual area for it. So Shauna says, congrats to both of you. Definitely deserve all that you have. So glad you have accomplished your dream. Thank you so very much. It feels good. I can remember Tiffany and I riding around, oh goodness, what's that been, 10, 12 years ago?
Probably 12 years ago.
Yep, I remember we was riding over there by Pickett Lake, and I started talking about the dream of we need to buy some property and try to live a lifestyle like this. And solder on it, like I often do things. Apparently I'm a good salesman. And here we are. Now we're nowhere near done. We just got done with the house side of things and all, but what we're really excited about is the outside. All the fencing, the animals, the things that are coming. We're not trying to make a true homestead, so to speak, because people get really touchy with that. I'm gonna grab the door for Tiffany. Who's coming? Oh, you going through there? But we do want to be a little more self-sufficient and kind of take care of ourselves here. And plus, we want the animals and all the things that go there. By the way, y'all see what Tiffany's doing? We have a pass-through window right there. We've purposely not put the screens back in these windows to do just what she's doing. So a lot of people's concerned about us walking to the outside kitchen. Well, I've got something special in mind right there. We're actually going to build a table just under that window. I think that's where the refrigerator's going. And we already use that so much as a pass-through window. That's how we're going to put food out there. So there's a lot less walking out of the outside kitchen to get something in the house if somebody's inside. So I thought I'd mention that real quick. So Chad says you can broadcast live on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. That's correct. However, we're streaming from a phone. I think we do that from software on a computer, and we just finally got strong enough internet that I'm still messing with, by the way, to potentially stream off of our laptop. That's why the video doesn't look so good, the live streams don't, because I'm having to do everything via our phone. So I'm going to work on that as well. So we'll eventually get where we can do both at the same time. I just got to make sure my upload speed is good enough on this cellular router that I'm working with. And I've got a new SIM coming. I still got to make some adjustments to the antenna to try to improve everything even better. Thus far, it's been working awesome. It really has. Serious. So how could someone order one of those solo cup holders, says Mr. Doe? I'll have to get up with Mr. Thomas and see if he makes them or sends them out. He kind of has a little hobby woodworking shop. I don't know that he builds stuff for selling, but I'll tell him that you're interested, and you could let me know what you want. But I mean, they're poly coated, they're stained. It's got little rubber feet on the bottom. I mean, they're really, really good, quality little fun gadgets. But I love the idea. Write your name on your cup, get on out of here, and go enjoy yourself. So I'll reach out to Mr. Thomas on Facebook and see if he may want to make some for some people. Yes,
Quick question: when I opened up the gas valve on the grill, it let out like a bunch. Is that like a pressure valve or something? Like if it gets?
No. I will be right back. She's trying to get the Blackstone fired up, and we may have an issue. Y'all talk amongst yourself just for 1 minute.
Intermission.
And I'm back. So we have something going on with our pressure regulator on the Blackstone out here. I don't know. I finally got it to fire off, but We'll have to see what's going on with it. I may have to get a new pressure regulator on there, or what may have happened on these hot days, that tank may have gotten such high pressure that pressure regulator is doing exactly what it's supposed to do and kicking off, because they do have little safety plungers in them. So we'll see. It looks like it's out there working right now. Sorry, I was gone for a second, but I'm back now. Let's see what else we got here. So we had a few more people come on or jump on. Hey Jake, how you doing? So Chad says, hopefully I didn't singe the hair on my head. Wouldn't have bothered me if I had. I hate hair. It's too hot for down here in Florida. I'd be perfectly fine if I went bald right now. So Mr. Gray, thank you so much. Always so extremely generous. Like Mr. Gray's been amazingly generous. That's why I mentioned him in that video today as well. Always so kind. Say thank you so much for that donation there. And he says, shh, let's see if we can sneak this past him. Nope, called it. Gotcha. Thank you so much for that. We really do appreciate it. So let's see here. So Mr. Robert says, we missed you. I wasn't gone that long, but missed y'all too. So Shane says, try to disconnect the regulator and replace. That's what I did. It seems like you got to do that to drop that safety plunger back. So I took it off, opened up all the valves. If there was any pressure in the line, cut them off, reconnected everything. And a tip for y'all, boy, it took me forever to figure this out. Do not open up your gas valves on your grill and then open up your bottle. You'll seal that pressure plunger off every time, that safety catch in there, that safety valve. You always want to open your bottle first, then open your gas grill burners or regulators right there. It took me many months to figure that out. I kept wondering why my gas grill wouldn't light from time to time. It's because I was doing the horrible routine of make sure you open your bottle first. Always do that. So, yeah, doing husband duty, says Jacob. That's correct. I get the, hey, this isn't working. Well, Tiffany's been doing that last few days. She's been going around the house, pointing out a few things. There's a crack there. You touch up paint there. I'm going around, putting it on my list. Okay. I got a list about this long of touch-up things to do, that's for sure. So Steve says another reason to do a cutout for the Blackstone outdoor kitchen. And the cool thing about that is because my gas line's already regulated coming through the house, no more regulators outside. So everything I put in from my Blackstone to my cooktop, I take the regulators out. So I just buy a short hose. I'll run me a galvanized hard pipe out there and put a T in it and then thread the hose into that and go straight to the appliance. There is no regulators out there because it's regulated straight off the tank. So that should eliminate issues just like what we're experiencing right here. So let's see what else we got here. So Mr. Jimmy says he thinks Daniel does his live stream with two phones, one live on Facebook, one on YouTube. That may be an option. Tiffany typically uses hers right here to kind of monitor comments and moderate with everybody else, but we may have to set hers up to do that as well. And then I can just pull up the Facebook comments over here. So I do want to start live streaming for Facebook. We've got a significant amount of people over there, very kind and awesome people, and I'd like to include them in this. Some people just don't want to do the YouTube thing, and some people don't want to do the Facebook thing, and we completely understand that. All right, so do you still use a large outdoor misting fan, says JMJ Will? Heck yes, I do. We stood on the porch yesterday, or day before. I was out there watering the yard because my grass was burning up, and I'd have to keep running back in front of that fan just to try to cool off, and I'd go do some more watering, and of course it rained that afternoon as soon as I got done watering the grass. But yes, we use that fan several times a week, but it's been so hot here lately, you don't even want to be on the porch when it's 103, 104. But we grilled steaks just a few nights ago. I had that fan kicking. I really do like that fan. That wasn't a review. How long ago has that been? A year plus ago. Just pushing a product. I really do like that fan. It is very well made. It ain't cheap. I'll go ahead and say it's very expensive for what it is, but the motor's huge. There ain't a speck of rust on it. Everything seems to be powder coated, but a misting fan does work in Florida. Contrary to popular belief, everybody says you can't use misting stuff in a high humidity state. It may feel awesome out there in Arizona and California with low humidity, but it does work here too. It's just like having sweat on your arm and standing in front of a fan. You know how much cooler you feel? That's the same thing that misting fan does. I really want to get another one for the porch as well, so whenever we're entertaining, having a lot of guests over here, we can have 2 or 3 going. Now, they are a bit loud, I'll give them that, but they move a ton of air. I'll take the air on these hot days. So that thing's working good. All right, so as Miss Crystal says here, hit the thumbs up if you like this content. We appreciate it. Looks like we got 250 people on here. That's awesome. So welcome. And if you just jumped on and new, hey, let us know. We don't bite here. We've got a good community of people. And thank you for hanging out with us. Miss Tiffany's knocking on the window. Apparently it's time to go out and cook on the Blackstone. And I will continue to answer your questions. So let's grab this. All right, y'all are gonna get shaky here for a second as we turn around and head outside. And I'm gonna blind y'all too. Man, oh man, is it bright out there. Woo! So dang, Mr. Doug, kicking it again. Thank you, golly, thank you so much, Mr. Doug. So generous. Pool fund, and let's see what else that said there. My comment jumped off my screen. It said Cash said he's doing a belly flop. Well, if Cash will drive over here, he is more than welcome to. I'd love for him to do a belly flop. So Mr. Doug just gave us another extremely generous donation.
Thank you, Mr. Doug.
Sorry, I know I'm blinding the heck out of y'all. So here's our beautiful view. Huh?
What side do you want to come to?
I'm probably going to have to come over here so I don't blind everybody. I can't stare them back toward the sun.
All right, so for those that have missed it, we are going to cook chicken kebabs, but not on the kebab stick because we're going to do it on the Blackstone. But this recipe came from Texas Roadhouse, and I think I've kind of mastered the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I marinated the chicken in it, and it is, well, I made a lot of the dressing, the sauce, the marinade, because it goes over the vegetables, it goes in the rice, it goes on afterwards. But it was a whole bottle of Italian dressing, a half a bottle of Heinz 57, and about a cup of hot sauce.
Holy moly, a whole cup?
Yep.
Woo!
And you mix all that, a little bit of ketchup, probably about a half a cup of ketchup, and you mix all that together, and then you put it in your chicken, let it marinate in, put it in your vegetables, let it marinate in. You add a little bit to your rice that I'll show y'all in a little bit, and then you add a little drizzle at the end to your dish.
All right, did y'all write all that down? That was a mouthful. So Shane says, was that a man candle in there on the counter? Nope, Shane, that's one of Tiffany's foofy candles. That ain't no man candle.
All right, let's get some of this chicken in here. It's like scalding hot.
So what's going on? Robert says, Mr. Doug, didn't Mr. Cash say he was going to double your next donation? Oh, Mr. Doug called you out on that one, huh, Cash? So what's the temp this evening? It was 91 last I checked, Mr. Doug. So actually, this is quite cool compared to how it's been the last 2 weeks. This is our first day that we're about 10 degrees cooler than what it's been. So this 91 actually feels halfway decent after all these 103 and 104 days. All right, so while she is flipping that, I'm going to talk to y'all about the kitchen. So a lot of people mentioned about don't have the refrigerator in the outdoor kitchen that's out here because guests. What I forgot to mention to y'all is that refrigerator is not necessarily for guests. It's just for Tiffany and I when we're out at the pool and things like that. We cook out once a week. Honestly, we do. We go to cookouts and we hang out with a group of friends once a week. And they always bring their own coolers. Like, the refrigerator isn't necessarily for them. So the other thing y'all kept talking about was going out to this post. Rain does blow in there, but we're going to talk about that some more and consider it. The other thing, you see how Tiffany keeps this table set up out here to do a pass-through in these windows for stuff for cooking on the live stream. What we've decided is the outdoor kitchen is going to stop right here. The sink is going to be in there. And then I think I'm going to build a table on over to here that drops down so it doesn't mess with the view of the kitchen. And now we have a table that we can raise the window, do pass-through, put your food and plates on, close it right back down, have stuff prepped and ready out here so you're making a lot less trips outside. And I think right there, if I do that, will be the perfect spot to put that refrigerator. So if we're coming out of the pool that's going to be over here, you got wet feet, we can walk straight to the refrigerator if we want to use it. You never go in the kitchen, never get it wet, never make a mess. And here's what else I want to show y'all. So we're talking about the kitchen bar top stopping right here. So yes, it is going to mess with the view of that one window and going all the way over and going back here and making a U shape. A lot of people said you need to flip that. Well, we can't, because if you were to start walking in right here to look, this is all the kitchen you could get right here. It got so much smaller because we can't have a bar top up here in our window coming out. So I wanted to point that out to a lot of people. Plus, this is our parking when we have guests coming, and I don't want them to be able to pull up and look straight into a kitchen. Doesn't look the world's best. Keep in mind, I also have to have a wall somewhere because I've got to run gas lines and electric lines through the kitchen itself over to here. The other thing I wanted to bring up to everybody, so we're talking about putting the Blackstone and cooktop right here in this kitchen top, and then have seating on the other side. And I know a lot of people said, hey, your guests don't necessarily want to be sitting on the other side of a Blackstone. Keep in mind, they're sitting on a raised up bar top here, so we block some. But 95% of this kitchen is going to be for Tiffany and I only. We're not going to have guests over every weekend. We usually go to a lot of other people's places, but we are going to have cookouts and get-togethers here. We want to be able to cook and keep our face toward the pool, toward the deck, and toward this beautiful view out here. If we're cooking over in this direction, you constantly got to turn around and talk to your guests. You're not getting as good of a view. So we have lots of reasons why we're going to do that. But I want to talk to y'all about it because I literally received hundreds of comments. People asking about those things right there. Uh-oh, I done missed something.
You did, all these veggies.
All right, so we got cherry tomatoes and grape tomatoes out of the garden, cut up tomatoes in there, squash and zucchini out of the garden. So this is
onions, peppers, mushrooms.
Yes, so this is our kebabs without kebab sticks.
And I've done them 3 different ways. I've put them on the stick. Andrew likes them in a pan, just in a tin pan on the grill with a lot of butter. And
see, that's right. Look at all that juice in there. There's so much flavor out there. When you stick them on a stick, all that cooks off. Your stuff comes out dry. So I call this kebabs. It basically is everything you'd put on a kebab stick, but you just don't have to worry with a kebab stick. But look at all that juice. That's why I like cooking them off of the stick. Let's see here. Reading a few more of y'all's comments. I got to go on ahead here. Woo, Mr. Grace is 101 still where he's at. Woo. When are the man candles happening? We're going to have to get on those a little later, I do believe. I got too many other projects right now. Yeah, too many other projects. Alright, so thank y'all. Sorry, I skipped a bunch of. Oh my goodness, Mr. Doug. I'm just now getting down to your crazy donation there. Golly.
Thank you, Mr. Doug.
Thank you so much. So he made an extremely generous donation for the outdoor kitchen fund.
Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Doug, do me a favor. When this outdoor kitchen's done, come down here. Let Tiffany cook for you. Jump in the pool when we get that. Come down here, let me serve you an adult beverage I think you've earned it. Man, thank you so much. Golly, you're so generous. And then, of course, right behind him, old Uncle Tim right here. Mr. Doug's Fishing Trip Fund. Yay. I like the sound of that. That right there will put some fuel in the boat so I can take Mr. Doug out. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Tim. Man, we can't thank y'all enough for how generous you are. Golly, y'all are so kind. I don't know how to repay all y'all, really don't. Goodness gracious. Yes, and Mr. Gray still talking about that Patreon. Of course, Mr. Doug, Mr. Gray, and several others are Patreon members where they donate and y'all don't even see that kind of stuff right there. So I can't thank y'all enough. This lifestyle and YouTube and Facebook's not possible without y'all. It really isn't. Otherwise, I'd be producing probably 1 or 2 videos a month. All right. So what you doing, little man? You ain't gonna look for no crumbs? Where you going?
Y'all should smell this right now.
This smells amazing. That hot sauce and butter and everything else in there smells so good. This really is an awesome meal right here, y'all. And the other way we like to cook this too, if you take one of those 10 deep dish pans, put all this in it, along with all that sauce, and I put it straight on a gas grill. So basically it's just an oven.
Covered.
Yep. Cover it up with tin foil, bake it, 350, 400 degrees for about 45 minutes to an hour. When all those vegetables and all that meat just cook in all that butter and hot sauce and everything else, it gives you a flavor and everything is so tender. I don't even know how to describe it. It's awesome.
Remember a little bit to put the recipe in.
Yes, she does need to put this recipe in for y'all. And yes, we are going to do our best to get a cooking channel going here before long. We do need to do that. We got to find some time for Tiffany. She works her butt off, y'all. but we can try to start recording a few every now and then. This is the kind of content we want to put on there. We're not in $1 million kitchen. We don't want fancy stuff. We just want to show some everyday meals that you can do like this that you can get quite a few helpings out of. This is awesome right here for when you have guests and you're entertaining. You can make a ton of food like this. You can bake it in the oven. You don't have to have a Blackstone, and it turns out so good. So good. So Garrett says, hello from Wisconsin. I know you're currently working on hatching chickens, but what other animals do you have plans to raise in the future? So that pasture, when we bought the property, that pasture was completely grown up. Wasn't smooth. We mowed it down and we worked on it for months, dragging it and tilling it and getting it to what you see, and then we planted all that grass seed. And the plan has always been to put there used to be a fence right here. We're going to put it back, and we're going to put some cows out there and maybe a donkey to watch over them. Somewhere over here or over here, we're going to build a goat pen, so we plan on having goats as well. We're already working on the chickens, and we're still undecided on a few other animals, but for sure goats, cows, chickens, and eventually a horse as well. Tiffany's always wanted one. We've even set that barn up over there to potentially have a 2-horse stall in it. So a lot of future plans. We're just trying to knock out some of these fun projects that we desire, and we're trying to let fencing materials drop, because I priced out a while back to do that pasture with several gates was about $10,000. Just insane. But it's already done dropped quite a bit. Post and lumber and everything else has dropped. We're waiting on steel to drop. All right. So yeah, Miss Sharon says, Mr. Doug must work a lot overtime. He deserves a vacation. Yes, Mr. Doug does deserve a vacation and needs to get his butt down here and let me treat him. Take him freshwater fishing, saltwater fishing. I'll take care of him if he'll come on down. All right, let's see what else we got here. Sorry, y'all, I have missed a ton of comments. Oh my goodness, I wish y'all could smell this. So good. I have a feeling I'm going to have a messy grill to clean up here. Alrighty. Alright, y'all got any more comments while we're letting this burn up? So everybody says this is the best view on YouTube. I do like this view. Now wait till there's a deck right there and some water rippling out there with a pool going. Eventually a fire pit patio over there. I can't wait for fall on this back porch, y'all. Think about that. A crisp 60 or 70 degree afternoon or night. TV up there going, well, who cares about TV? Cooking. A little fire going down there in the fire pit. Full moon, stars. Oh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. As Kim says, loves our woods. I do too. I'm a tree hugger at heart, y'all. I love trees. I have to do. That's why I planted so many more, but we have about 30 acres of woods all out there and back this direction. I wish we had 3,000 acres of woods. I love them so much. Yes, Crystal, we absolutely enjoy your company and everybody else's, so thank y'all for making the live streams as fun as they are and as enjoyable as they are.
All right, we're going to get ready to throw the rice on here in just a minute.
All right. I can't get over how good this smells. Which cooking peppers and onions already smells good anyways. My peppers have sure struggled this year. Yeah, it is a mess, but I'll get it. It's the least I can do. Mr. Mike says, don't forget to swing by the post office box this week. We will do it. We'll make a couple trips. We try to make a early in the week trip and a later in the week trip. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it does not.
All right, so I just boiled some bag rice here. It's just the easiest thing to do whenever I'm cooking on here.
I agree with you, Joshua. We do need some grouper taco tutorial. I need to go catch them first. My goodness. My lack of fishing this year is sad.
Ooh, made you a mess. All right.
Mr. Gray said he had zucchini to use for dinner. Hollowed them out, filled with meat, and covered with enough cheese to even make Chris proud. So zucchini boats. Uncle Tim, God bless you. Hope you have a wonderful week. Chris, I don't think we're going to hook you up with cheese tonight, buddy.
No cheese tonight.
No cheese tonight.
But we had plenty of cheese for lunch, so we got our cheese filled today.
That wasn't that much cheese. You can't never have too much cheese. That's for sure.
All right, so here's that marinade I was talking about.
Yep. And it
It made about 2 cups of marinade.
looks just like what's at Roadhouse 2. So Mr. Doug asked, what type of sink are you putting outside? Bigger's better. So I was just going to put a tiny little hand washing sink over there. And the more y'all got talking about bigger's better, just like you're saying, because we're only doing 24-inch deep countertops, I'm doing that for material and countertop themselves. I had to go with I'm going with a little bit smaller sink, but I upsized it. I was going to do like a little 12 by 12 or something. I'm actually going with a 28 by 18 deep sink now, so it's plenty big enough to put pots and pans and baking dishes and things like that in there. So y'all did talk me into doing a much bigger single basin sink, and I'm going to have one of those wands that you can pull out and spray your pans off. So I think that is definitely the right thing to do, going with that bigger sink. So Shane says they're fishing the pond on Bama Bass. How about that? I watched Bama Bass. He's been building a giant 5-acre pond, and he releases videos every Sunday night. And usually when I lay down late tonight, I always watch his video in excitement. That's awesome. He seems like just yesterday he started building that pond. Now they're already fishing in it. And I'm assuming he was catching bluegill. Is that right, Shane? Because he just put little bass all in there. So garbage disposal, says Mr. Gray. Actually, I don't know of anybody down here. I've never seen a house down here with a garbage disposal. I've just seen Bullet behind us. So no garbage disposal out here. Honestly, I don't want that stuff in my septic system, to be perfectly honest with you. Did you drop something for Bullet?
No, I just want to make sure he was
Look at him. Here comes Crumb Snatcher. See the little rice? Don't worry, he'll find it. Hey, buddy, you're missing them. Hey, right here. Right here. Right there.
All right, I'm mingling all this chicken in with the veggies here.
All right, mixing everything up. Woo. Meat and veggies. Ooh, that's popping on me.
Yeah, it's still so very juicy.
Yes, it does look great. So Josh asked, how did the corn turn out? So we both ate some of the Silver King sweet corn, and I think we both agree, while it's very good corn, we don't find it as sweet as the Silver Queen, and I think we're definitely going back to the Silver Queen next year. We just got to find those seeds. Papa A says the scraps and leftovers go in the compost pile. I'm good with that, other than maybe meat, because I just don't ever grow or have big enough compost piles to truly get hot, really hot. But we're going to work on that, especially once we get in animals and chicken and all that stuff, and we have manure to put in our compost piles. So Mr. Doug, that's kind of what I've always heard too. One of my really good friends installs septics for a living, and he kind of has thoughts about the extra load you put on your septic system grinding food down there. So we tend to bag any scraps or food just to keep them out of that septic system. Keep it nice and happy. So Robert says he found all kinds of Silver Queen corn seeded on Amazon. And yeah, I do need to look on there, but I tend to buy it at local farming stores because I know it's fresh and it's, you know, the previous year's seed. The only thing that scares me about buying seed online is you just don't know how old it is and how well it's going to germinate. Let's see here. Mr. Bob or Mr. Gray says he was joking about the upgrades. Oh, that's fine. Mention whatever you want. We'll either do it or we won't. So Steve says, can you get the seeds now and store them? No. All the local seed stores and farming stores only stock up or only have the fresh seed early in the springtime. That's why I really feel like it is absolutely fresh stuff. They don't really have it year round. It's always the previous year's seeds that's been taken care of and set up and ready for planting. Woo! Think we can eat all this for supper?
Couple days.
There's our famous shovel. That's how we eat, y'all. We got a Blackstone shovel. Let's see what it is. Yes, sir. Norman says, a good thing I'm not there for supper. I already weigh 300 pounds. Well, we could put a few more pounds on you, and they're good pounds, too. I mean, look at that. Oh, that is so good. Actually, this is a very healthy meal other than maybe the stick of butter in the sauce. Rice isn't necessarily the best. I mean, there's so much vegetables going on in there.
Yes.
So, have I ever grown broccoli? Yes. I grow broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage, but we have to grow it in the fall here because it is way too hot any other time of year. So, any plans to smoke some brisket anytime soon? You're going to kill me, Chris, but I have never smoked brisket ever. I always do butts and ribs. Yeah, brisket I'm intimidated by it, much as it costs and as long as it takes. I do need to try a brisket. I really do. So where did we get our shovel, they want to know. I can't remember if that was a gift or if we bought it. We've had it for quite a while.
I want to say somebody did send this out, but
They may have.
Yeah.
That may have been a gift from Miss Lee. I know she was hitting us up left and right with the Blackstone accessories lately, or there a while back. I don't know. And it's a Cuisinart, by the way. So go on Amazon and type in Cuisinart shovel. No, I don't know, Cuisinart scoop. Yeah, check that out. I guarantee it came from Amazon. Everybody shops on Amazon.
all right, I did the dishes.
Yep, and I'm supposed to be cleaning that up. What are you doing?
Well, I wanted to get it while it was still hot because it was a mess. for
Right.
Sure. All right, so we're done.
Yep. So, Mr. Doug, to answer your question, I'll probably be the last one I grab here. Pressure treat for the outside kitchen. That's what I'm thinking. I've tried looking for steel studs and other things. I don't really see them around here, and I do trust pressure treat to be more than adequate because this area typically, I mean, you got to have a hurricane for that to get wet. So you're talking not even once a year that'll get wet unless we go too terribly far out. But painted and coated and treated lumber, I have no issues with it at all. Keep in mind, all this up here is untreated lumber. It's exposed to the weather too, so things last if you protect it and take care of it. Oh my goodness, I'm burning up now. This Blackstone gets so hot. So hot. So I guess we're going to wrap this thing up. One last look at this amazing food. So as we always say, thank y'all so much for spending your... Huh?
I'm over here on the sun.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Getting over here out of the sun. So thank y'all so much for spending your Sunday afternoon with us. Thank y'all so much for amazing, generous donations. This just isn't possible without y'all. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, everybody. I can't say thank you enough. And thank you for cooking. I'm looking forward to eating this one. This fat boy's already hungry. But I'm about to go inside and cool off for a minute because standing by this Blackstone, whew,
Yes, it's hot.
It gets hot. We got to get some more fans on this porch.
And we
that's
will
for
have
sure.
a fan above the bar top.
Yes,
over
we
there.
will.
Yes.
And we can't run them on camera doing live streams because y'all never hear us. But we got here cooking. Without y'all, we're going to have that misting fan going over there. Everything else kicking. But thank y'all. I guess we're going to do a live stream next weekend. The majority of the people said absolutely. Have a happy and safe 4th that's coming up if we don't get to chat with y'all next weekend. And I don't even really know what all's coming this week on content. I got several videos edited up. Something's coming. Yeah. Thank y'all. I've been busy editing. Thank y'all. And catch y'all later. Good night and God bless.
night.
Take care. See ya. Later.